We back. Episode 2, season 2. Me's Harper in the building. Harper, we missed you last time, right?
No, I'm back, man. I ain't been on the show all year, man. Feel like yesterday.
We should say Happy New Year to you again, I guess.
Happy New
What's
Year.
good? I got the shades on today, trying to look a little cool, but it's all right, man.
You look like
How
the
y'all
mayor of DC.
Doing good.
I am the mayor of DC now. Come on now. Whenever you're ready, just let me know. But let's get right into it, man. Some news for y'all. Let me take these off, man. The news for y'all. Carmelo Anthony becomes the 9th player in NBA history to reach 28,000 career points. Tom Brady retired. Or is he retired? You think he coming back? Who knows? David Ortiz included. And David Ortiz inducted into the Hall of Fame, Baseball Hall of Fame. My boo, Rihanna, she's pregnant.
Don't remind us.
I had Anthony Davis back for the Lakers, but sometimes it takes a turn. But she goes back like that. I also want to wish everybody a happy Black History Month. February is our month. Really, we have the whole year. We got history all the time. It ain't just happening in February. It happened all over the year. But happy Black History Month. The Washington football team has a new name. The Commanders. Y'all like that name?
It's okay with me.
It ain't the worst name, but I mean, it sounds like something off 2K or Madden.
Yeah, something.
The auto-generated name.
You know how you used to play at the rec center, and then you little, and then you're like, "What y'all want to name the team?" Let's be the Commanders. Right. That's basically what I was thinking. Lovie Smith, next Houston Texans football coach. Obviously, Brian Flores had suing the NFL for a number of reasons. That was a big story that we kind of missed on and haven't really touched on yet. But that's one that in the next, couple months, is probably some more stuff will come out. But Brian Flores did get hired by the Steelers under, what's your boy over there?
Mike Tomlin.
Thank you. Mike Tomlin. I don't know why I drew a blank. LaMelo Ball and obviously the All-Star game just passed. I mean, it was, sensational. Steph Curry put on the show, hitting 16 threes, won the All-Star MVP. Somebody out of LA hit the game winner. What's the guy name again out of LA? Oh, LeBron James. My fault. So LeBron hit the game winner, and his team is, I think, 6-0 or 5-0 in the All-Star game since they've been doing this new format.
Undefeated.
Which I really like the format, though. This is actually working.
Yeah, I like that format too. Yeah, they need to upgrade the Saturday events a little more, I think.
Exactly, man. Because that dunk contest, everybody said it was like horrible.
No, that was the worst dunk contest I've seen.
I saw some of it, but I ain't really see a lot. What you was saying?
I will say, what's my man, Obi Toppin? He did a couple interesting dunks. Like, if he would have dunked a couple on the first go, I think he would have been respectable, but they missed so much. It's like, when you dunk on the 15 tries, I basically seen you do it already.
Right.
Everybody doing most of the dunks are, repeated from year to year. Obviously, he did I think through the legs, and I'll try to do it off the backboard and then dunk it.
The backboard was crazy.
That's what I used to always say. Like, some people do that, like do like a reverse 360, dump it off the backboard and then dunk it. Yeah. I mean, that takes an extra level of hops to do that. But hopefully, we can get John Moran in there and some other guys to kind of do that. Last thing for me is really my school went to the CAA, leaving the Big South, the second move in a year that we switch in conference, but we'll see if this works out. I mean, it's all for the greater good of the future of what college sports is going to when you got kids, getting paid now for their name pretty much, which they should have been doing this years ago.
You feel like it's more competition in this conference?
As far as basketball, yes. But I think now from talking to some people that you want to be in like a bigger conference, and you want to kind of have more teams. If you have more teams in your conference, then you setting yourself up for bigger and better, and you get more exposure. So we'll see. Our football team still in the Big South this year, and will leave and go to the CAA in 2023. So that's that. But let's get into it. Super Bowl. Rams outlasted the Bengals with a 23-20 win. Cup named the Super Bowl MVP. The Rams pretty much controlled the first quarter, or maybe the first half of most of the game, and then you see that turn of events early in the second half. I mean, it was 22 seconds, and you had a touchdown and an interception from the Bengals, and then that late drive from the Rams, and that stop on fourth down from Aaron Donald, who could be arguably named the Super Bowl MVP. But he did come up in a big way. That defense came up in a big way, sacking Burrow 7 times. What did y'all see in this game? And obviously means I know you was going for Burrow and the Bengals and thought they was going to win. Mark, I don't know who you was rooting for or who you thought would win. But Harper, what did you see in this game and how you think the Bengals kind of held up to the Rams?
I think the Bengals coaching, their coaches, he's really talented. He game plans very well for what he has. I like Burrow a lot. I feel like he's going to be one of the top 5 or so quarterbacks for a long time in his career. I feel like that fourth quarter, I don't know if he was just tired or what, but like it was just punt, and then they turned it over that last one. Other side of the ball, Stafford did good. I'm not a big Stafford fan, man. It didn't look like the moment was too big. It shouldn't be. Well, he's been in the league, 11 years. Odell looked good. I feel like once they started getting pressure with Miller, that was opened up Aaron Donald, and then it was pretty much they couldn't move the ball after that. But it took probably 3 quarters for them to figure it out. So yeah, shout out to the Bengals, man. They look good. They look good.
For sure, they came out to play. I mean, a lot of people thought it was going to be a blowout. It was looking like that way early in the first quarter when Odell scored, and then Kupp came back and scored. It was 13-3. Which that extra point, that extra point was kind of critical. And then the Bengals came back. I think they had that trick play with Mixon throwing it to what was that, Higgins in the end zone, and they scored on that. Meej, I know the Bengals failed you, but you did have them winning. They played a consistent game in the second half. They led most of the second half. What did you see from the game and some of your thoughts?
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Bless you.
But I mean, you got to give credit to the Rams. You got to give credit to the Rams and the defense and. Excuse me.
Bless you. That pollen coming out already.
I know, right?
You got to give credit to the Rams defense because I think what was key and what was special about this Bengals team was their offense. They were high powered. They can run the ball at times, and they can also throw the ball. The weakness for the Bengals was protecting Joe Burrow. I think they were one of the worst teams in giving up sacks, and I think that's the story of the game, the majority of the game, and just the story of the ending is that Aaron Donald, Von Miller, they were getting pressure on Joe Burrow and this offensive line because Jalen Ramsey and that defensive backcourt, they weren't really holding up on their end, on the back end, they weren't holding up their end of the deal. So I mean, if Joe Burrow had just a little more time on a couple of those plays, we'd be talking about the Bengals winning this game. I mean, like I said, you got to give the Rams credit. They won the game, but once Odell went down, I kind of felt like they had, the Bengals had a real chance. and because we seen it throughout the year and even throughout the playoffs that the Rams kind of stall at times. Like they get off to these good starts or they have these like these spurs, like these little spurts, and then they go dead for a while. And they were built. This Rams team was built to win a championship. They're like a
Yeah.
super team, basically, in a sense, in a stack deck. So they should have won. But I think, speaking on for the Bengals in their future, this is you gotta have a positive feeling right now. Maybe in a year or two it could change if they don't make the right acquisitions and basically just go get that man the O line. He has the offensive talent. He has the skill players. He has the running backs. He just needs the offensive line and then also need to work on that defense too. I think the defensive back core needs some work. That was the thing I would say basically would be on the Bengals defense because they were getting pressure, uh, decent enough pressure on Matt Stafford. And I think that which caused a couple of turnovers. But I
Especially
think
early in that second half. I mean,
right,
early in that first half, they was getting pressure.
right, and I think you can upgrade Eli Apple and a couple. I forgot the other defensive back that Eli wasn't the only defensive back that was getting caught on and getting beat. So it defensive back core and if you get that maybe upgrade your linebackers a little bit more and that offensive line, I think the Bengals will be a team to a force to be reckoned with for the upcoming future. Joe Burrow is going to be a top 5 QB, no question. He's going to be a top 5 if they protect him. Now if they don't protect him, then he'll be I think what Bill Polian said, like a Andrew Luck. If they he'll be turned into an Andrew Luck because they can't protect him and he'll just be hurt all the time and getting sacked and having to make plays on his own.
And that's what we talked about when we were talking about the draft. The first 5 picks. I think that's what we went to. And I think Sewell, I think the guy that the Lions picked.
Penny Sewell.
Yeah. So that's what I was talking about. They need protection. That's what I mentioned on that podcast. They need protection. They need to protect this guy. Obviously, you had a reunion with Chase and Burrow, and it worked this year. I'll say Chase had a phenomenal year.
No, that was a great
year. Offensive rookie of the year. And it was a great pickup. But now you see what you need, where you can be, what the future holds. Burrow, the last 4 weeks, I think, of the season, he was killing. Mm-hmm. I think he threw for 500 yards one game, 400 the next. He had like 9 touchdowns in like 2 weeks. He was killing. The surprise team of the playoffs, they were the surprise team in the playoffs.
No, they were
down 23 to was it 20 to 3 or 21 to 3 to the Chiefs and coming back. Which obviously it could have been a blowout if Odell didn't go down. It could have been a blowout.
I was going to add that, yeah. It was going to be, definitely.
Yeah, it was going to be a blowout. I think Odell had 57 yards with a touchdowns before he went down. Hopefully he can bounce back because he was a big help to that team. And was it Baker fault in Cleveland? People will say that, but he seemed like he got an extra power when he got out of there and got to a team that really used them the right way. I think Sean McVay, with the youngest now coach that won a Super Bowl. So that was good for him. And, they put like me said earlier, there was a super team. They put all the marbles on the table, went to go Von Miller, brought your boy back, Wendell, to come back and play for them. And obviously he was playing hurt most of the Super Bowl game. And then now it's paying off. What you was about to say, Harper?
Well, see, that kind of killed it for me. Like, me said this team was built to win this game. And it's like, it kind of felt a little cheated. Not cheated in the sense of they cheated, but like I expected them to get here and I expected them to win. So when they did win, it was like, oh, okay, I'm happy for a couple guys that won, especially Odell. But it wasn't as, I don't know, the thrill of it was just kind of out of it.
Nobody was shocked about it in a sense. It wasn't shocking. Yeah, it was. Everybody kind of expected them to win handily, and that's why I say like they didn't. It did. So like I wasn't as impressed with the Rams. That's why I gave the Bengals a chance because they haven't been. The only time that they really impressed me was against the Bucks early in the year when they beat the Bucks. But besides that, like they've kind of been underwhelming. They let the Niners beat them, I think twice.
twice,
and then almost, they almost beat them again. So it's just like they're good, but they weren't as good as what I thought they could be. Like they even without, well, no, they did lose Robert Woods, but even without Odell, they still should have beat the Bengals pretty good. But no, I when Odell went down, I think that was when I thought like, oh, the Bengals can actually win this game for real. Yep. Like they have like they're back in the game basically. So
I think
that was a game changer. That was a game changer when he went down because
it was
nobody really done that. Nobody really did nothing outside of that, but Cup on that last drive, and then they score. I mean, some questionable calls out there.
Yeah, it was. I forgot.
But that's. I mean, they're human. They, it's a game. It's in the moment. So sometimes you make mistakes. I got a question. Obviously, Ramsey didn't have the best game on the biggest stage. What do you think of his performance? And did he get exposed a little bit?
Well, Harp, you want to go?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he didn't play his best game, definitely. But I mean, that's always been. I mean, Ramsey is a big physical corner. He reminds me of Richard Sherman, a little more athletic. But I mean, he's never been terribly fast, and then the guy he's on is deceptively fast. And I mean, Chase is a great player too. Like he's probably a top 5 wide receiver. So I feel like he could have did better. They did, kind of trick him in some schemes a couple times on them big plays. But I mean, he did good. He did good enough for your number 1 corner, I think.
I mean, he gave up 1 touchdown, 75 yards, questionable call with a face mask. But I think I read or heard that could be kind of normal, especially if you don't really like grab in the mask. They might not call it if it ain't really, aggressive in how long you on the mask. And then that long catch in the first half. I think that was probably the second possession of the Bengals, and then they got a field goal out of that. But I mean, I say he didn't play his best game, and then it looked like throughout the game, he was kind of getting down on himself, and like he was getting out of the game. And I guess he did stop the first drive. I think he did stop the touchdown at the end zone. But it seemed like as the game progressed, he was kind of getting out of the game. But
yeah, he didn't play like his normal jittery. He's normally loud, talking junk.
Correct.
He was very focused, but I'm sure he was very nervous at the same time. So
yeah.
So yeah, I was trying to look up something. So yeah, he gave up the most yards he's ever given up in the Super Bowl. I mean, in a game was in the Super Bowl. He gave up 160 yards allowed. Was the most he has allowed in a single game in his entire year. So that says it all on its own. He played terrible. He made a couple big plays, but I also seen him holding a lot too. I mean, which is the game. But if I don't like when people complain about that one call, because I'm like, well, I seen a lot of calls that I thought that he should have been called, flags that should have been thrown on his behalf on T. Higgins, and even on that interception at the beginning earlier in the game. I felt like, if that guy if the linebacker wouldn't have intercepted the ball, they probably would have called a pass interference on Jalen Ramsey, because he was there like either a little before or like it was like right at the exact time, but you can't tell because the linebacker intercepted the ball, so we don't really know, but it looked like it. And so I mean, he played terrible in my opinion. This was his worst game that he's ever played, and it so happened to be the Super Bowl. And I think it was nerves. I'm not going to act like he's a terrible corner. I think it was, being on this stage, his first time. Nerves do play a part in it and everything. So I'm not going to be too hard on him. I'm just going to keep it real. But it's, I think if he goes again, he'll have a better game. It's just the nerves part, I think, is what played a major factor.
Another thing too, they do get a whole extra week to scheme and go over tape, right. And not to make an excuse or anything, but I mean I agree he didn't play great, and like he did give up that field goal, and that's why I was kind of like, all right, well the Bengals can move the ball. I didn't think they were going to be able to do much of anything, just because of the pressure that was going to be on him. But
right.
yeah, I mean, yeah, Ramsey did kind of initially, I guess, yeah, I mean, he messed up the flow. They weren't afraid to throw it his way,
No,
which
they weren't. They weren't afraid to throw it his way at all. So
normally ain't the case.
And they did it all game.
yeah.
I will say too, what do y'all feel, especially on the Ram side? Do y'all think when Donald comes back, I know he was kind of talking about retiring, and then do you think Odell stays there?
I think Odell found a home, and he's happy there. I mean, I think the main thing for Odell is just getting healthy and getting back on the field wherever he goes. But I think he found a home there. I think obviously it's LA, and so that's another another pro to staying in LA and at the Rams. And it's. I mean, Donald could go out as one of the best or one of the great defensive players right now. It all depends. I guess he wants. I don't know. It all depends on what he wants to do right now and the rest of his life. I mean, he got the Super Bowl ring, 8-time Pro Bowler, all-time great. So I guess it depends on what he wants to do, like right now in his career. He can walk away and be, we'll be talking about him in the defensive column, from years and years to come. But it'd be great if he come back and, see if they can do it again. You just won a Super Bowl. You got Stafford there. That was his first year. Let's see what you can can you keep it going and things like that. So we'll see what happens.
Well, you got to see if Odell, because I mean, Odell's gonna have to take a pay cut.
Yeah.
I mean, even in Von Miller too, because they're on expiring contracts. That's how they got there. And I mean, the Rams just signed Robert Woods.
They cut Odell. They cut Odell.
Yeah,
right.
They cut him. He's on there. They let him go, so he was on like a little, like a veteran, probably like a little minimum deal or something like that. And Von Miller.
You saying as far as his next payday, he gonna have to lower.
If the Rams are going to keep him, if he wants to stay with the Rams, he's not going to get what he's worth. He's not going to make. He's going to have to take a pay cut, I think, because
pay cut is what though, like 15 million.
I don't know off the top of my head, but I got to see. I got to look at this. Yeah, look at the salary cap. Look at the salary cap and see, who they're bringing back, who they're not bringing back, and all that. But off the top of my head, he's not going to make what he would want to make. I would think, because for one, he's injured. He's got that. He keeps getting injured, and then for two, they already got Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp. Odell was just a piece to take him over the top this year, and then if it work out, I guess you'll kind of figure it out from there. But I think they're gonna have to sit down and talk and see what he wants to do. But I think he can stay in LA with the Rams, because I don't, especially with that injury, he'll probably will take a little pay cut and just stay there, rehab. He can be in LA with his family, his newborn baby, and I don't know. And then you got Van Jefferson too. Van Jefferson, they drafted him like I think like the second round. I don't know. It was he was a pick. They picked him up with the expectation to play him, in the future, in the long run. So you got to see where all that. But I mean, I'm not saying he's anything. Odell Beckham's on the team. Of course, you're gonna take him over.
But Robert Woods had the same injury, right?
Yeah,
right, yeah.
But Odell got the same injury twice. Like this is
this is a different leg though.
Oh, okay. Well,
I mean, it's a good scenario. It's a good scenario for the Rams. Like you get Robert Woods. You get Robert Woods that's going to be coming off of the injury. Hopefully, he still looks like he was. I don't think he's better than Odell, but hopefully he looks like he did. And then you'll have, like you say, if I was Odell too, I would rehab there. You're starting a little family or whatever. What is he, about 30? He probably maybe 30.
30 around there. Around 30. Yeah.
Maybe,
I think he's probably around 30.
Maybe they give him because he did help them win that game.
Right.
Give him a 2-year deal, like let him rehab one and then see what it's, maybe make an incentive deal the last year.
I'm sure he'll stay. I'm sure he'll stay. Hometown discount. He'll be full of his low contract, but be full of incentives
but somebody might pay for him. I can see the Cowboys making
I
him
can see the
run back.
Patriots paying for him.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
he right up our alley. We take root
Dynamic
damaged
receiver.
players and try to work them
Cowboys
both
gonna be
ways.
stuck with what they got. They because I think
Yeah,
Gallup coming back.
Cowboys.
They
Yeah,
ain't, I don't think they
they
spend no
ain't
money.
got too much money to they strapped for cash right now.
Yeah,
Nope.
it's gonna be bare minimum. So if he's taking that minimum vet, then he might. But
Yeah.
we'll see. All right, fellas, keep it moving. Ben Simmons traded to the Nets for James Harden.
Here we go.
When healthy, he's the best player in the NBA. Me says. So
See,
who do
I
you
said
think?
that a while ago. I've already stated that Kevin Durant is the best player. Y'all, I don't understand. Like when I say something, all right, and then when I say or I say, okay, well, now it has changed. Y'all still run back to this old statement like I didn't already address this. I don't understand, but go ahead.
I try not to. I'm just saying. At one
And
point,
you
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 said
trying not to, but you're doing it. I've already stated that James
but,
Harden
but
isn't the
since
best player anymore
KD's the
in the
best,
league.
and he has Ben Simmons, his new teammate, and Harden is now in the city of brotherly love, who will make his debut tomorrow against Minnesota. Who won the trade, Mies? And also your thoughts, sir.
I think Philly won the trade. I mean, when you look at, of course, you got Nets got Andre Drummond, they got Seth Curry, they got Ben Simmons, but if you look at stats this year and all three of them combined don't even total to what James Harden does on the court. This year, he's 22, 10, and 8 guy. I mean, I think James, I don't know. I just don't see what Ben Simmons is going to bring to this team besides a little defense, but he's not James Harden. I think people are going to see actually what James Harden brings to the game when he's missing. And I mean, maybe because Kyrie's coming back, the Nets will be all right. And they starting to change these mandates.
Is he?
They say they're going to change the mandate soon.
Couple of weeks.
So he should
He
be
changed his
back.
check.
But I don't know. I just feel like people are going to say the Nets because people are just tired of James Harden and the way he does things and how he operates.
People tired of being now.
But I don't think that people realize Ben Simmons does the same thing or he's even worse. Like, I mean, I don't get it. I just think that people are so hard on James Harden because he went to the Nets and then he didn't play as well in the playoffs and things like that. But again, he was hurt. So, you're getting if you get a healthy if the Sixers get a healthy James Harden with Joel Embiid, it's gonna be like Shaq and Kobe. Like it really is. And they got the defense.
Well, hold on. Let's not put Harden on Kobe level now. Let's not do that, okay? And let's not put Embiid.
Harden's an all-time top 5.
Let's not put Embiid on Shaq level. So let's not do that.
But I think the Sixers won the trade. I don't see what Seth Curry. That's a great pickup, but he don't play defense. Andre Drummond. Now, when I was hype about Andre Drummond last year, everybody laughed at me. Now I hear people bragging like Andre Drummond. Did he do something different from this year to last year? I'm confused. Like,
Mees, I would have been hyped with you because I wanted Andre Drummond in the buyout too.
So I'm just confused as to what are they getting. And then Ben Simmons, can somebody tell me what he's done this year? Nothing. So we don't know what
well, I can tell you one thing. He did get engaged.
Nobody knows what they're getting in Ben Simmons, but it's just like, oh, okay, we're gonna, now he's with the Nets. It's all good. And I'm just like, James Harden, I know what I'm getting. I'm getting 22, 10, and 8. Yeah, he's averaging 4.8 turnovers per game. That he's had a bad stretch. We all seen what leading the NBA right now because we all seen who he's working with over there without KD and Kyrie on the floor, and he's trying to do it all. But he wasn't leading the NBA all year in turnover points per game. It was Russell Westbrook at one point in time, who actually leads the whole league in turnovers. But that's a different story for a different day. But yeah, the Sixers won the trade hands down. We know that because we see what they had to give up to get James Harden. So I think the Sixers won, and I think James Harden. This is gonna work out, and then the Sixers will be in the finals this year. Mark this down, and you can take. That's who I got coming out the East. My boy James Harden.
Wow. You heard it right here.
And
He said
Joel
the
Embiid.
Sixers will be in the finals. Let me call my job now.
Yeah, get ready, Derek. Y'all going. You're gonna be traveling.
Right?
You're gonna be traveling. And ain't nobody better than Embiid right now, man. I'm trying to tell you.
Embiid is playing,
playing
at a high
good,
level right now. But he did
MVP.
this last year, didn't he? Oh, okay. I didn't know.
I ain't got hurt.
He was in the running for MVP last year.
Yeah, he was.
You know,
Jokic was on a tear last year.
He was.
Jokic was on a tear. But this year, I got to give Embiid his even
Jokic
though he
on
was
the
like
tear
you
this
said,
year.
he was playing last year, yeah, but I mean Embiid is I guess because they got the better team right now and they just playing really good. They're in the standings. Go ahead.
Who you got?
Well, before we say that,
trade?
We did beat the Sixers by 48 points last week. I just had to throw that out there. And I do think they will be a good team, but we did beat them by 48. I think the Sixers won, but for totally different reasons from what me said. I feel like the Sixers won only because you got a former MVP, superstar level player when he's engaged, I guess.
Right. That's a good way of saying
it. And you traded him for a guy that never wanted to play for your team again. So, it's kind of like you traded Seth Curry for James Harden. That's a good point. Although I do feel like the Nets
not per se.
Okay. Although I do feel like the Nets are now a more complete team. Seth Curry, to me, if they could have kept him with Harden, I feel like offensively the Sixers would have been able to go with anyone because that's exactly the kind of player you need with Embiid and even a Harden for when he drives and kicks or, Embiid when he posts, he going to hit that shot. I think he averaging almost 20 a game for Brooklyn now since he's been in Brooklyn. But
who? Oh, it's Curry.
Curry. Yeah. And I like Harden. I do like Harden. I just wish that he didn't get so frustrated all the time. I do feel like these two teams are really similar because the star players are kind of overly emotional. And, Embiid he does it too. Like, Embiid's one of those guys where if he's playing great, he's going to let you know he's playing great. He wears his emotions on his sleeves. And then when he's not, it affects him pretty much the same. Yeah, exactly. Pretty much the same way. And it doesn't go well. I want to see how that fits with Harden, honestly, he's a little moody. He comes off a little moody, very nonchalant. I don't know if that's necessarily what they need. I feel like kind of need more of a leader type guy with Embiid. He don't really feel like a leader yet. He doesn't really act like one. I don't think so. But but when is Ben Simmons even going to play? Like, I don't understand why Ben Simmons isn't about to play tonight.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, he's not injured. They're talking like he might not play for another couple weeks, and I'm just
he got to get
out of that mental thing.
His mental block. That's.
Well, they play the Sixers on the 10th or the 11th. I think he's trying to avoid
10. And don't get into it. I like Ben Simmons. I'm a fan of Ben Simmons' game, but he ain't James Harden. He ain't. My bad.
I think I like
you guys. Let's have a timeout right now. Let's have a timeout. When we look at this, I'm gonna break it down for you because I gotta handle Mees for one of his comments, and I gotta handle Harper for saying the Sixers won. When we look at this, and let's say we in the playoffs. Who is your sixth man from the Sixers?
You don't have to have one. You got Tobias Harris. You got Tobias Harris.
Just answer the question. Answer the question.
You don't need no
sixth man for the Sixers?
George
would it be Maxey?
Oh, Maxey
starting. Maxey starting.
He's starting.
Maxey starting.
Okay.
He's been starting all year.
Somebody gonna have to play with the bench players. Gonna have to play with the second
This is
string.
the thing.
It's gonna be one of the starters. Gonna be
The Sixers did not win this trade. Here's why. Because now Brooklyn has what they were missing is depth. They were missing depth. You had nobody to come off the bench when Harden or KD went to the bench. You had nobody because you traded away to get Harden.
So who coming off the bench for him now?
I mean, you got Patty Mills. I'm looking at the roster. You got Patty Mills. You got you get Dragic. They just picked up.
About Dragic.
You got the young boy Cameron Thomas.
But Dragic ain't part of the trade.
Aldridge, you got Drummond. You got
Bembry not on the team.
You got Griffin. Okay. Claxton. I mean, you got guys that you can kind of put in there.
They just cut Carter.
They just cut Carter to get.
I thought they picked. Oh no, the Suns picked up Carter. Yeah, they dropped Bembry. I thought to pick up.
And Carter used to play for the Suns.
Yep, that's who got drafted, I think.
So they have depth. You're gonna go to Niang. You're gonna go to Thibault. You're gonna go to what's your boy?
Korkmaz. That's who they should start.
These are not guys that's gonna put fear in your heart when it comes to the playoffs. It's not gonna put fear in your heart. And I think
put fear in your heart on the Nets. Curry don't scare me. He gonna get killed every time on defense.
I mean, first of all, Curry was probably like the second leading scorer on the Sixers when he was there, or the third.
That's because
he's leading. Right now, he's leading since everybody's been out. So let's not get that there. He's actually a scorer, but obviously he's a defensive liability. Just like
playoff time, they're gonna be seeking him out. Come here,
so Harden. Curry. What kind of defense Harden playing?
Harden played better defense than Seth Curry. He
how much better?
He ain't the greatest defensive player.
Why? Because he's 3 inches taller.
Like to play defense.
Because he's 3 inches taller. That's why.
It ain't like Harden. Harden don't choose not to play defense, but he can get a couple turnovers and a couple of stops.
Yeah, he can lock in on a couple plays, kind of like Kyrie.
Last play of the game, let me put Harden on him. He gonna stop him.
No, definitely not that. But you got the Thibbles,
right?
You got the Maxey.
You got Thibault.
Yeah, Thibault, I guess. Trae Young averaged 20. Oh, okay, I didn't know. Did Trae Young average 29?
Don't get me started on Ben Simmons. Don't get me started on. It ain't like he the best lockdown defender all the time. He's a great defender, but he was. Everybody get killed.
Come on, everybody knew he should have won Defensive Player of the Year. Did y'all not? Y'all knew that. Stop. You mentioned that.
Yeah. He should have won over.
All right, so I'm gonna go back and say that. I'm gonna go back and pull up that, and I'm gonna call you out on it because I know y'all got on.
No, he did. No, he should have won. He actually guards people, unlike Gobert, who just kind of just floats around the paint and just tall. No, Ben Simmons.
You said,
I think he definitely should have got it over. He definitely should have got it over Gobert, but I think he's a good team defender, like just individual, like come in, I'm about to clamp you up. I don't think he's that guy.
I mean, you are playing with 4 other guys on the floor. Come on, man. It's a team sport.
But sometimes you got a guy that's Gary Payton level defense, and then you got a guy that's Klay Thompson, who is a really, really, really good team defender, or was.
If you're going to put Thibault up there, you're got to put a 6'10" Ben Simmons up there. Let's not do this.
Well,
if you're going to put Thibault as a defensive guy, you got to put Ben Simmons up there. Now stop it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you know that.
Yeah. No, but Thibault is Thibault. I mean, we're talking. I don't know what
Thibault make a first team all defensive team.
Giannis is the best defensive player in the league.
I mean, come on.
Giannis.
Yeah.
And then
he's the best help defender in the league.
Right.
Who?
Giannis.
Yeah. How many lockdown guys do y'all think is in it? So y'all feel like Ben Simmons is just I'm gonna clamp this guy up type of defender?
I don't think he's a clamp, but if you're gonna put 5 guys that you put on that list, I'm sure he's one of them.
Draymond Green is the best defender in the league.
He was most versatile
this year.
He was most versatile.
And Thibault was up there this year for one of the defensive player of the year.
Thibault can play defense.
He can play defense. He was getting overshadowed by Ben Simmons.
Let's see when the lights are bright.
Well, yeah, we're gonna see.
When the lights are
bright for Ben Simmons too. That's what I'm trying. People really talking like Ben Simmons just be showing up. Oh, he show up in the playoffs. Ben Simmons. He show up. He don't show up.
And Harden showing up.
He show up more than Ben Simmons though. Like you act like they on the same level though. You act like they on the same level. Even
I forgot he averaged 30 in the series, but lost. My fault. He showed up.
What Ben Simmons doing is the question.
I don't know what Ben Simmons doing. I'm not a Ben Simmons guy. I'm just saying who won the trade. But you can't say somebody showed up and Harden ain't doing up a scoring and losing.
But see, I feel like
doing more than what anybody else in the trade.
Like on paper, the Nets are strong, Derek. They are. They have depth, but like you have no chemistry. Kyrie's missed 45 games, and they're like 4-10 when he plays. There's like 26 games. They just put this graphic on the screen 5 minutes ago. You got Simmons, who should be playing tonight to at least get incorporated with the rest of your team. Right. We don't know when he's going to play. When is KD playing?
He's going through his mental stage. Let him get through that and then get back to the NBA when he's ready.
It's harder to integrate 3 new players.
Yeah.
With God. That's why James Harden, in a sense, didn't want to be with the Nets no more because there's no consistency right now. You got Kyrie Irving.
I mean, you can't do a pandemic. You thought people was going to buy in. One guy didn't want to get the shot. Another guy got the shot, but he has a history of getting injured. KD. Harden was injured as well. So, I mean, it's no consistency between the 3. We knew they wasn't going to work. Obviously, that mission failed. It failed. They all went to the Nets, and it failed. Now, let's see who bounced back. Harden ain't played in the Sixers yet. He plays tomorrow. And Ben Simmons ain't played over there, but the other guys played. We'll see what happens. But right now, on paper, you cannot say the Sixers are better, and they won this trade. In the Nets got 2 first rounders out of this.
Well, I can't say
they can package that up and trade it to somebody.
KD and Kyrie ain't even playing, so I can actually look at Ben Simmons over there, look fresh. Ain't gonna play. When he gonna play?
Yeah, man, that is ridiculous. Like Derek, somebody who's mental, like if his mind is seriously, I don't want to play until after the Philly game. What if they play Philly in the playoffs, which very well may happen now because they in 9th place? I mean, I have no confidence. And last year I defended him on this podcast. I defended that man. And it just ain't no coming back. Like, do you even feel, let me ask y'all, do y'all even feel like what Doc Rivers and Embiid said was that bad?
No. I mean, they did kind of give up.
It wasn't that bad, but you can't all point the blame. You can't all point the blame at one person when it's a team thing.
They answered questions.
Anything, but so you're gonna have a coach to say, I don't know if we can win with the point guard we have.
No. That's not what he said. They said,
what he said,
Coach, do you think you can win a championship as Ben Simmons as your point guard? He paused, and he said, I don't know. I'm not sure. Because they ain't won one. So, I mean, what do you want him to say? Yeah,
we should have asked him, Doc, can you get out the second round since you haven't been to the you haven't been out of that since you left the Celtics?
Doc can't get on the court there and play the game.
Doc defended him all year too. Y'all remember, and he was like, I'm not taking him out the game at the end.
Everybody defended him.
Okay,
now
so
he working with Kyle Korver, he's a whole different person.
Right, one comment the other way after you, completely. What was he supposed to say in that moment? Like, you had a wide open dunk, and I don't know what happened to you, man. Like,
he's supposed to say, I think team that we have now can win a championship. We just have to all buy in to the team, and then.
But what if we don't believe that?
Yeah, say it to the media so they can run with it.
Yo,
that's the way you do it.
But you know what he probably thought he was doing? Let me light a fire under this 25-year-old kid who still can get better. Like
you always want to have a campfire, don't you? That's all you want to know. Let's have a fire. Somebody lights a fire. That's what he want a campfire on everything. He always saying about the Celtics. Light a fire, and then he's coaching to light a fire. Why can't you come out and say, I want to be the best at what I do? I'm coming out here making millions. Why can't I play to the level of NBA talent that I should be playing at? That's what they should be doing. Why people got to light fires from these players? You getting paid millions. You playing great. What, you want to win a championship?
Yes, but everybody doesn't have the Mamba mentality, Derek. Sometimes you gotta coddle these. Everybody don't think like
Right.
Giannis
Especially
or
these young
LeBron.
guys. They sensitive. These young guys
Yeah,
sensitive,
But
man.
it's a different generation that we're dealing with. I can say that.
Right. You
yo, he's
can't you
been this
can't talk to them like we was talked to when we
right.
play sports, and
Correct.
you get yelled at, and that's like a sign of motivation, or they kind of try to call you, in a sense like, oh man, you playing like a punk, like, or come on man, like what, like he said, light a fire. That's not working. These guys here, you gotta be nice to them, and hey man, everything good, it's
Coddle
okay
him.
man, yeah, like, all right, look, this is what you did wrong, but I mean, it's all good, you can,
You still
that's how
bring
you got to be nowadays, because these kids, they, a lot of these guys was, they mamas stopped them, was raised by their mamas, in a sense, so they like,
Mm-hmm.
and when the coaches, when they was kids, used to yell, they mama be like, no, don't talk to my son like that. So that's just how a lot of these guys are, so
I
I don't
tell
know.
y'all what the
Right.
problem is all the time. It's that AAU, man.
Yeah.
That AAU treats them like they great because at the time they are, and somebody trying to come up off of them, always on them teams. And it's not the same environment as playing at the park, playing at the gym, playing at school. Like you're already in this system of, yeah, man, as long as you look good in that court, we give you what you want. You can act like you
Right.
want. Ben Simmons has been acting like this since college. Like they didn't even make the tournament. I think they won. Did they win 10
No,
games
they
that
didn't
year?
make the tournament.
They
I
didn't
Like
make
don't
the
know
tournament.
that.
he had no interest in playing in college.
Right.
So it's just like he's showing you exactly what me said. Like he don't have a mental of what we used to watching.
This I mean, the thing is, and I was talking to some people, is do he really think he has a problem in his game for him to
No.
change it? So that could be an issue in his mind. Or do he really want to play basketball, or was this just forced on him because he has the size and the stature? So those questions to be answered. I can't say NBA is back. The Celtics and Nets are playing right now. So the NBA is back. We can wrap this up soon. I just got a quick question. The Lakers are 27-31 in the ninth seed. What do we think going on in La La Land, and can they bounce back? What you say, Harper?
I normally talk a lot of junk about our boy LeBron James, but I mean, I'll be honest. Other than what he did this weekend, I ain't had no problem with Brian pretty much this whole year. Other than picking Westbrook, Brian has looked like 30-year-old LeBron pretty much the whole year. He's done what he's supposed to do.
He's killing.
He don't look as interested every game, but I mean, he shouldn't. This is year 18, 19. Like I can't blame him at this point if this is probably very boring to him. AD, I mean, AD just ain't he's not what LeBron, like right now, this should be AD, you 28, 29. This is you transitioning into being Batman. I say this all the time. And now Bron should be very comfortable being a very, very high level Robin.
Right.
Bron still has to be Batman every game, and he just cannot do that every night anymore. That's the biggest problem. Westbrook is a net negative.
I think another issue is, I mean, obviously every team is hit with the injury bug and things like that. I mean, Melo, I think he coming back Friday. I think I saw today. So he's coming back. So a lot of injury thing, and then it's just
they old.
I can't. It's old, but I can't say some of Vogel lineups at the end of the games kind of questionable. I don't think Austin Reeves should be in the game at the end of the game. I think you can put somebody else in that position.
I'm
happy
with Reeves. I like Reeves,
but you got to look at the defensive side of it.
They play decent defense.
Because I think that
young.
The Bucks game when y'all was kind of making the run, they was going at him every play. I think they tried to do that in the Portland game, and it's just like I don't think he should be in the rotation. And I can see that he made a change when he put LeBron in, I think at the 5, and then put shooters around LeBron, and then that got them kind of clicking and kind of moving the ball. And only thing you got to do is let LeBron work ISO game or whatever, and then go run your offense through that. It's kind of like I guess motion kind of offense. Everybody's just moving around and kind of doing things like that. But Anthony Davis got to be healthy, man. If the Lakers want to make a run, it's not over yet. I mean, they're in the ninth seed right now. This is the second half of the season. I think we have 20 plus games left. So when you look at the seeding, I think they ain't too far from the eighth seed.
7. They got
like 2 games from the 8th, and then like 4 games from the 7th. So
right,
and they play some of these teams, which they do got like a hard schedule coming up. But let me say this: LeBron has been playing really well this season. My only knock is in the last. I want him to take over games. Like now's the time to take over games and to win and put your team in the back and say, get out the way and let me do it. There was some games that
he averaging 29.1 points per game. I don't know what else he can do to put on his back. He somebody has the Lakers got a lot of things going on, man. It's a lot of issues. They don't play defense. If you ask me, defense is the most important thing. They don't play defense, and that is it's a couple of things. And I think when I say Russell Westbrook, I'm not saying necessarily in the sense it's his game. He's actually having a pretty decent year, typical Russell Westbrook year. He just doesn't fit. And then it's his contract. He's making $44 million this year. That's like two or three decent players that you could have on your roster. And he's gonna make $47 million next year. So it's just like he kind of holds your roster. Our roster's terrible. I had high hopes for this roster. I mean, I knew they're old, but I always think when you have LeBron James on the team that you can kind of cover up things in a sense, and he can he makes up for a lot, but it's a lot of things, man. The defense is one. I think that our personnel, we're old, and I didn't think that would matter in a sense this year, but it does matter this year. They're old. We don't have even our young guys. Malik Monk, he's playing really well offensively, but he can't stay in front of nobody on the defensive end. That's why I'm like, Austin Reeves is one of the only guys we got perimeter defenders. Guards kill us every game. You can watch any game. A guard is going to go off on us because we don't have any perimeter defense. We lack that. I'm hoping maybe Kendrick Nunn come back in this month. I'm hoping maybe he can pick it up and he can be a decent defender. But I mean, health. The Lakers have the most or the second most. I think it's the second most or maybe the most different starting rotations this year. It's them and the Nets, which kind of you see they're not playing. Neither one of these teams are playing. They're both in the 9th seed. They're not playing. They're underwhelming teams. I mean, AD is just can't stay healthy, man. I mean, it's depressing. And then even LeBron can't even really stay healthy this year. He's getting better, but he got that knee, and he's talking about
I don't expect Bron to be healthy though,
Yeah. I mean, I just think that this team isn't living up to what we thought. I'm not gonna say I didn't have championship hopes this year. I didn't come out and say it like I usually do. I kind of wanted to see what we were gonna get with Russell Westbrook because I was unsure. And so, I thought they would at least win 40 games, and that ain't even looking like they might. It's gonna be close, but it's gonna be around 39, 38 games. Unfortunately, me and Trav had a bet. I mean, at the time you look and you're like, okay, yeah, this roster they can win 40 games, but it's starting. Some of these.
It's just some of the games that you probably looked at the schedule and thought they should win. They didn't.
Portland, they should have beat Portland, and they didn't. Sacramento a couple times. I mean, they can't hold a lead, and they used to be able. It's crazy. The Lakers were 57-0 in 2020 when they had the lead, had a lead of 10 points or more. This year, they give up so much. They're hard to watch. The Lakers are very hard to watch this year, and besides LeBron, I mean, and he's hard to watch sometimes because he'll turn the ball over a little bit, but I expect that, from LeBron, a couple of turnovers here and there when, but it's not, I'm over it. I'm just hoping we get into the play-in. I'm over the regular season. Get into the play-in and make some noise, and hopefully they make some noise and they can get into the playoffs, and then we'll see where we go from there. But if AD, I'm agree. If AD not healthy, we ain't making no noise.
Y'all know what's
Even
crazy?
with LeBron.
You know what's crazy? We've been talking about the Lakers about 10 minutes or so. We've mentioned Westbrook's name twice. And it's sad. He's the highest paid player on that team. I know he's not the best. They traded every asset they had left.
Man.
LeBron put all his eggs in that basket.
Yeah.
And I mean, he just gambled wrong, yo. I mean,
yeah, he did.
Gambled wrong.
This on him. That's on him. I don't usually. I've told somebody. I said I don't give LeBron blame for much because when it's deserving, I will. 2011, that was on LeBron. That finals. This right here, this is on LeBron James. Who in the hell wants Russell? I know he shouldn't have got Russell Westbrook. I just don't get it. It's just so like I really don't like it. This is LeBron. This is gonna go down as this on him. This is on him.
It's toward the top. I mean, I think he was just looking out for your boy. I'm sure Russ was like, man, I really want to go home. You know, I will do what you want. He just can't do it.
It's ego thing too. I think LeBron. Oh yeah, I'm LeBron James. I can win with anybody. I'll make it work, and it's not working. It's not working at all.
And Russell,
go ahead.
If this was LeBron 10 years ago, I still think he can make it work.
Right.
I really do. If this was 27-year-old LeBron, yeah, man, they would at least still be 1 or 2 in the conference. I'm sure.
I mean, and then if I just wish AD could stay healthy too. If AD could stay healthy, I think the season will go a little better. But they haven't had time to play together. You don't practice a lot since COVID. It's like practice is rare, and so I mean, you have to have chemistry is big in the NBA, and I don't care who you are, you have to have that chemistry, and it's just like they don't have it. You can tell they don't have the chemistry. When they play on the court, and it's sad, man. I mean, it's sad. I was hoping AD would take over the number one. That was the plan too, but
it's not happening.
I'm not going to fault AD for. I'm not going to do it with Stephen A. Like that was one of the most irresponsible things I think you could do. But Stephen A. was saying that blaming AD, talking about his commitment to staying healthy. It's like he can't. Especially this last injury, he fell on the guy's foot. Like it was an awkward. You can't predict or control injuries. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you could work out a little more. I don't know. Build up your. But at the end of the day, if you're gonna get
got injured, the fragile bones,
right? Yeah. Exactly. Like if you're an injury prone person, you're gonna get injured. So I mean, it's just
I say all the time. Sometimes these guys are not supposed to be the size that they are. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes
he was a point guard.
Exactly,
like 6 inches.
Yeah, who has a growth spurt? Like it's just something abnormal happened with him, and his body can't hold his size, so he's always breaking stuff.
We can say that LeBron is playing like he's 30, but the body don't hold up like he's 30 right now. So that's kind of like the biggest factor. And hopefully we'll see in the next week or so. Probably the next time we get on here. Will they go up or will they go down or stay consistent?
I'm hoping they can get a run. Hoping they can get a run.
Winning 2 games to get in that playoffs is going to be a task for sure instead of that 1 game.
Hey, good thing now have Bronny on the team to save all of this in 2 years. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about what Bron said.
Well, LeBron will play with Bronny, but it will be in Greece or France or somewhere. I can't say that.
Or OKC. I think OKC will take that chance. Presti, if he there, he'll take that chance and bring in Bronny just to get LeBron.
Who knows?
And put him with if you got Shai Gill and the rest of them guys,
I think people underestimate Bronny's number 46 in his class. Just to put that in perspective, guys that go at the end of the lottery or mid to late first round, they're normally top 15 in their high school class. Not to say you can't get better in high school, but I mean in college. But if Bron is wanting him to go to college for 1 year or not to go to college,
right?
I don't think that ain't gonna work for him. He's gonna have to. He can be a good college player, You know what I'm saying? Like he could be really good in college, but the NBA at this point, from what I've seen from him, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be, especially if you don't get no taller, because I mean he's basically our size. You know, what is he?
I was talking to Ori about this, and he wanted. I know we can get back to this and have a bigger discussion about it, but he was saying, you know how, people own corporations and things like that, and they get their son into the corporation, and obviously, basically, you got a job coming in. So this could be something what LeBron is trying to do for
I forgot what that's
his son,
called.
Bronny, to kind of pretty much say, all right, and when you're ready, you got a job already, and these now you getting these teams, like, because I think he signed the NIL deal today. About was something I got to read up on it.
SD, it's like a clothing line. So I forgot, like at PSD, SD, something like, I think it's PSD, because it was kind of, I was like, is it PlayStation? I was like, it's PlayStation, but it's like a clothing line or something. I seen it, I literally just seen it.
This is Brian.
A couple earlier. Bronny. Yeah, he just signed a deal. Yeah.
So this could be setting up, something for a longer term deal. So when it's time for him to get ready, then it'll happen for him. But I just got to see more of him, and like kind of check out his game. I know what is junior this year, so I got to see.
Yeah, I don't keep up with Bronny like that.
Yeah, when I can get when it's on ESPN or I'm just sitting here chilling, I might watch it and check out some of the players, and then you see it here and there, and then especially. You know how your favorite team got recruits coming in. You might go look at some highlights and stuff like that. So stuff like that. But I think I have to get into it.
I think Bron basically made him now he put him on the radar in a sense by saying that. But I'm not sure teams the NBA is starting to necessarily they're starting to phase out of this LeBron type. Like this is his league in a sense. So he has the power that he used to have. They're starting to phase out of that. I don't think teams care if they have LeBron James like that anymore. Like I was reading something today and they were saying if Cleveland could get LeBron back, they were like sources saying that no, that's not like they wouldn't really want him back, which I understand. You moved on. Your team's actually pretty good. I wouldn't want to possibly blow that up or bring in a guy like LeBron James who, when he does come in, he takes over. He's so dominant. Like it's just like he takes over. This is his. Even if he doesn't try to, it's like everything's going to be centered around him. So I'm starting to think that teams, and I noticed it even with the refs. The refs, it's not like the refs used to kind of give LeBron calls or things like that, or just kind of just side. Now it's like they kind of treat him like, oh yeah, you ain't no different from the next superstar and things like that. So I'm starting to think like teams don't care. I don't think teams are really going to care unless it's certain GMs. Like I think Sam Presti is going to, he might be interested in LeBron, because, but I don't know. I just don't think teams want Bron like that anymore. It's, I don't know. I just don't think they're not going to be chomping at the bit like they used to. Year 19 and I don't know.
Yo, if Bron, I think honestly, if Bron thought that his son just could completely get to the league off his own merit completely, I don't think he would really mention him like that. I feel like what he did the other day is, like you said, putting him more so on the radar. He should be on the radar. He's LeBron James Jr. But
I think the second one gonna be the one, the real one, the true one, the second one.
Yeah, we'll see. I just hope
Bryce.
And we've never seen Bron's father or anything, but I wonder, is Bron kind of like Michael Jordan? Like a lot of his family is pretty short, and he's 6'6". It's just sometimes it just happens like that. And it seems like when I watch Bronny, what kind of turns me off to him is he's the size of a undersized point guard right now, but he don't really play like a point guard.
Right.
Like he played more like a 2 or a 3. And it's like, well, if you don't really develop these point guard skills, it's going to be difficult. I mean, really for him to even play. Like he can handle the ball a little, but it seems like he's more suited being a wing. And he may be too small to be a wing.
Well, he might hit a spurt. These guys hit. these guys hit spurts and one over the summer, and they go like what AD went into like his senior year and he shot up or something. So we'll see. With the
His
genetics
daddy
like
was
that, you never
6'5"
know.
in 10th grade. That's all. I think he was
Who?
6'7". I think Bron was 6'5" in 10th grade and 6'7" when he graduated. And then I think he grew another inch after he got in the league. So another inch or two. So
a lot to see in the next coming weeks, months.
Celtics look
We're
good.
gonna see what happens. They have been playing good. They won the last 8 out of the 9.
Y'all doing what I was hoping my Lakers would do, go on a run. I was hoping we was gonna catch a run because that's all the NBA is. You can be bad for the majority of or decent for the majority of the year, just average or a little below, a little under 500, and all you got to do is hit a spurt, get on the run, and go on like a 10-game win, 7 out of 10, and you getting back in it, and you starting to get that flow going. That's why I love the NBA so much, because you can just be bad one week and then the next week you can just turn it all around. But that's what the Celtics are doing. I was hoping the Lakers would do it, but it ain't looking good. So I commend your guys Celtics. You playing pretty
Appreciate
good.
it. I think guys are learning their role and actually playing their role and playing together, and kind of, I guess, buying into Ime Udoka's system. And it's good when you can have your 2 stars actually, scoring and keeping this team afloat.
And acting like they like each other.
And y'all play defense. That's y'all turned up that defense ramped up. And you don't have defense, you ain't gonna go far.
Correct. So they playing crazy defense, and they hold them team. I think Denver was averaging like 120. They hold them under 100. Obviously, the Sixers was under 100, and they blew them out. So they playing good basketball. Let's see what happens, and where we can finish and where we can end that, and get to some things. But let's wrap it up. Got some decent topics. The NBA had a top 75 list. Did they get it right? Or who was snubbed? We could talk about that soon. And I think the next episode we might hit on that. Is Jay-Z really the GOAT? Is Jay-Z really the GOAT in hip hop? So
hell no. He good though. He's very talented.
That's a lot to unpack. I think we gotta have some people on there to kind of have
Lil Wayne, Drake. He on their level, but he ain't. Drake might not be as lyrical or can't go off the top. But Jay-Z, man,
we ain't even sure if Drake liked them raps. Come on, man.
Go look at the numbers on Drake. Nobody delivers like Drake, man. Nobody delivers like Drake, dog.
So we're gonna have some people on talking about that, and always keep us up to date. And anything you want us to talk about, or anything you want us to get to, YouTube, Spotify, IG, Twitter, hit us up. Let us know. Make sure you follow us and add us on Spotify and Apple Pod. But fellas, we did it. Came back. We're gonna switch it up a little bit. I think the next episode could be is Jay-Z the GOAT. And get some people on there, and let's talk some music, and get some other people on here and get some other topics. We get back to sports when the playoffs start. I mean, the regular season is just here and there, but we did want to talk about Super Bowl, the Ben Simmons trade, and Harden trade, and Lakers and Celtics. But for Harper, I'm Derek, Talking Noise Podcast, Season 2, Episode 2. We out.
Peace.